things. You're gonna have poor thoughts. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna make poor decisions. You get what I'm saying? And by us being always out here fighting teeth and nail for just scraps, you get what I'm saying? Of course, but it all began with the drugs. Because if you have a dysfunctional people, guess what? Then it's going to be havoc. They're going to reap havoc on each other rather than if we had our whole minds. You get what I'm saying? Then guess what? We would unite and go ahead and fight against what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll be thinking in our right mind.
I'm not going to cut you off on this. This just circles back to feeling money for the first time as you were a kid.
Yeah, that's the first program. The first way to get you programmed.
In the influence of the impact or the
even your parents,
life,
your
right?
parents program you.
So this is definitely like one of those type of issues where it's like, how do we go within? You know, and it's easy to say, depend on each other, but
nah, to be honest. I mean, I wish it could be like that. I get what you're saying. I wish it could be like that for we can just say we just need to fall back and just take care of one another and fall up out the society. You know what I'm saying? And fall up out of their trap. Because at the end of the day, it's a big game. You know what I mean? Just the way that this is contain us. But at the end of the day, the only way we can begin to do anything is to start with each individual as we do, just how me and you decided to link. You get what I'm saying? That link will grow and grow and grow as generations go until there's somewhat of an army together. You know what I mean? And you'll see a change in the street. You get what I'm saying? Because of how that link and the minds are changing. You know what I'm saying? That 400 years of slavery thing was just representing us getting back to who we are and what we are, and we're just not human. You know what I mean?
I just think though, honestly, even with that thought, we allowed them to write our story.
Of course, but I just told you the reason how what gives us an out. You get what I'm saying? I just told you what gives us an out. There's no peace without war. There's going to be a war. I mean, that's what I'm.
Honestly, I just don't think that, personally, and this is just hopeful thinking, I just don't think they don't want that. Because they...
What you mean they don't... Who don't want that? Them?
First of all...
You talking about them? Or you talking about us in the whole?
Like, you black people... Nah, that's not what you want. You know, like, the thing is, what I think is this, right? And I told you this before. You know, a matter of fact, I probably didn't tell you this before, but I had a conversation about like the whole reparations thing or whatever, and I was just like, "Come on, man! Like, we're natural creators. We don't need reparations."
That's my point.
I mean, if they give it to us, then shit, that's gonna just make it even better for us.
What it is, the only thing we need is for people to get off fucking drugs and actually pay attention to what they did create, and that's that child. You know what I'm saying? And invest into that child. If you decide to bring a soul here into this war zone, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And my thing is,
and that way
with the music, like people hold on to the good times instead of creating
more good times. Instead of creating more good times. Not just no party and shit. Let you create a new lifestyle for how we live on the planet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my whole thing, that's why it has to be war before there is peace. You get what I'm saying? For the simple fact that if we still got these other people around, you get what I'm saying, that think how they do, then guess what? There's always going to be a chance of them coming back and recreating what once was. You get what I'm saying? But if we tear it down and burn this motherfucker down and rebuild naturally, and then then our natural instincts will kick in to where we'll just we'll take care of one another because it won't be none of their program around. You get what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So just like kind of like destroy the infrastructure and then build it back up again.
In our liking, in our eyes, just how they tell you in that biblical Bible. You get what I'm saying? That's all they did to us. You know what I'm saying? They built us up in their image, the way they seen things fit. You feel me? This the only way these niggas gonna be able to be in this. This the only way we gonna be able to have these niggas to be able to slave for us and at the same time never regain power. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna work like a dog for us because they want to survive. They know they supposed to be great.
Do you really want that though? Like honestly.
Honestly, what?
Yo, honestly, do you really want that? Do you really want people slaving for us?
Nigga, I just explained, nigga, that I do not want niggas slaving for us. I mean, I just put that plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? You got to listen. We got to listen. You know what I'm saying? I just explained that that's not what I want. I want this motherfucker need to be burnt down. Okay, you listening? And then guess what? We can rebuild what we want. Not without currency. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Go. No, if you want your food, plant your garden. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. If you want, have your flock. You get what I'm saying? Live off the land. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what the Indians doing. You know, why you think they live so long?
So
besides having money,
me, bro.
Huh?
This is just an interview. I'm interviewing you because I'm trying to understand exactly where you're coming from. Now maybe I didn't understand what you were saying before, but I get clearly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because this is the same thing that you say constantly.
Yeah.
You know, but my thing is, I feel like between us two, we can create a blueprint of how we think about it and be like, all right, cool. This is how we rebuild, or this is how we restructure ourselves.
That's why we having that's why we having this talk.
I'm saying to you. I'm not saying that like, oh, okay, let's just go make one. No, I'm not
but I'm like that. My whole thing is this: we asking the same question when I just already answered. You get what I'm saying? I answered your question, and then you're asking me the same question in another way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying we already spoke about this.
So what's the blueprint though? Do we have it yet?
I already told you the blueprint. We already went over that. We already went over what we needed to do as far as that went. You know what I'm saying? I already done spoke. It's laced there. You know what I'm saying?
But I honestly feel like you're the type of person that can give us a map by map.
Step by step is just like I said, going within. I mean, I just laid it all down, but before we can do that, again, we have to do that shit within, go within, and start understanding what we need to do until there's enough of us, not everybody, but enough of us to where we can rebel. You get what I'm saying? Period.
Yeah. So, in that conversation.
So
honestly, what I think, this is how we start. First of all, we gotta understand that there is a problem. You know, we gotta have a clear conscience on the fact that there is a problem, and then we also gotta say to ourselves that we actually gotta get through this. So the way that we get through it is, first of all, it starts with the very one individual. And having confidence enough to say that I can conquer anything, as we once were and as we should be, you know. So
before we run out, though, at a time,
the battle itself is just
that's the battle.
That's fight. You can go ahead, say what you were saying.
That's the battle. Period. That's the battle. It starts with self. That's the blueprint. That's the blueprint. Deal with yourself. Deal with your issues. You know what I'm saying? Instead of running them and covering them up, deal with them. That's the battle. That's the blueprint. Now, to move on to the bank and these politicians, as far as let me just say this right now. Them, when we see these debates and all that, again, they all deal with each other. The world is the internet, the TV, cable. All that belongs to those that are in power. So, with that being said, that's a live show that you get every day. You're going to get a live acting show every day from them. You know what I mean? Whether it's some stuff really going on around in your hood, killings and whatever, but that's all a part of what's supposed to be going on. You know what I'm saying? But as far as these other things that come up, who we fight next, and that's all their design. You get what I'm saying? Let's just make that be clear. And one other thing I want to touch on before we get off is that, you know, I know everyone's out here thinking I don't care how many millions you got, you get what I'm saying? But At the end of the day, everyone uses their birth certificate and their IDs, their artificial IDs. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the stronghold. You get what I'm saying? And that they own that stronghold. So with that being said, it don't matter if you got millions and billions of dollars. At the end of the day, the bank financed you to do everything you did and got to this day, whether it's your home, your car, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, the bank still owns all that shit. They just tricking you, to make you think that you own this shit. You get what I'm saying?
So how about we create our own government then?
Fuck having a government. We can have a government to a certain extent. The government just take care of one another. Period. I mean, we don't need no government. We don't need no bodies officials to be represented and over the next nigga. You get what I'm saying? That's the problem. Everybody should be able to be out here doing what they want, as long as they ain't harming nobody or themselves. And if they harming themselves, let that be something they're doing. You get what I'm saying? If everybody can respect and look at their own reflection and see themselves, guess what? It shouldn't be no motherfucking problems out here. You get what I'm saying? Period.
Yeah, I do.
Period. And that's to kill that whole question. Ain't no more questions. And I answered that shit. And as far as what I want to say, that sums it up right there. You get what I'm saying? This is not our society, and we can. If you hungry, we stay. Just like anybody else, we go get your food. You get what I'm saying? That's why I can respect people that come back from the south and further east, because guess what? They still know how to hunt and do certain shit. They still know how to live off their planet, their earth. You get what I'm saying? We need to go back to living off our earth. What is ours?
You bring up a valid point.
You get what I'm saying? What do you see in every tree and what do you see in every branch? You see brown. You see melanin. Melanin is all through the planet. So guess what? Who's the rulers of them? The melanated beings, the original people, the indigenous people. So we supposed to be living off our planet. You get what I'm saying? Instead of having dumbass grass, we supposed to have fruits and vegetables and vineyards. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Shit that matters.